And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the New York Jets and the Minnesota Vikings. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. Braxton Berrios selected to bring it out. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. So holding on the offense, they go ahead and decline the penalty, and the ball will change hands on the fumble recovery. Give left side here for Nwangu. And a short gain here down to the 22. DJ Reed, who played in college at Kansas State, made the tackle. This defense for the Jets, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
On second down, here's Nwangu. And they'll get him down right about the 20. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
And his top speed, according to Next Gen Stats, and even 19 miles an hour.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Hey, no, easy. Please, 48.
Cousins now. Escaping the pressure right.
That'll be caught. Rager with it. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's a tough one for the defense because the coverage was good downfield. He was forced to work his way out of the pocket to his right, spotted his man on the sideline, and got it to him to pick up the first down on 3rd down.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Kene Nwangu. His 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are on the board first here this afternoon. Joseph connects on the extra point.
And that makes the score 7-0.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Berrios going to bring this out of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10.
At their own 17-yard line.
They'll start on the ground. Hall.
And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him. The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead, it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
From the gun, it's Wilson.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
The CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Tackle on that play by Quinnen Williams.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Off the play fake, Cousins.
Drops this off with Nwangu. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Gun.
Another run down for Nwangu. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down.
Gun.
The slot man in motion right.
Gun.
And they'll send the slot in motion left.
Now a give running right, Nwangu.
And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory.
Joseph's got it, and that will extend their lead even further.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
Ball again on 2nd down.
Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Well, you hate that defensively. They had him pretty well corralled, but the face mask, that obviously changes things.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating because you feel like you did everything right. You had him stop, but the hand gets up just a little too high, and the natural inclination is to hold on, and that's going to get called every time.
Play action. It's Wilson. He finds his man, complete. That's Wilson. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 45-yard line.
$10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. 5 yards remain on second down. On second down, a run with Hall. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They go play action now. Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hall. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And they'll run it. This is James Robinson.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. This is caught.
And the Jets are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Robinson is going backwards here. Now they come in and drop him all the way back at the 4-yard line.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Hall want to give up the middle.
And he is in. Touchdown, New York.
Breece Hall,
his 9th touchdown of the season.
And the Jets have cut it back within a score.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone.
Oh, good-looking return set up here. The 40. The 20. He will score. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Well, he made the right choice by result, but a little bit surprising because now with touchbacks coming back to the 25 instead of the 20, when guys fielded that deep in the end zone, I think most coaches want them to take a knee.
Yeah, it's resulted in more kneel downs. Not right there. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff.
And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, put the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25.
They'll give to Hall.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going to the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
On third down, Wilson.
Now this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. Wow, so wipe out the INT, roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Handoff, running left. Here's Hall. That's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 41 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Well, CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. And he'll be taken down with a 1st down as they get about 14 out of that one, and we go to the 2-minute warning.
14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet 1st down.
Here we go.
Here's Wilson to throw. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Moore, the man in motion. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted.
Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. Touchdown, Vikings!
Justin Jefferson, 84 yards. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Joseph connects on the extra point.
And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Berrios now from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to...
And intercepted. Wilson spurred of the game.
Picked off by Harrison Smith.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
A good run of 6 yards there, gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up.
left to run with Nwangu.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. On the toss, here's Nwangu. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. The kick by Joseph is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up a terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And they'll be backed up a bit to start as he's out of bounds at the 16.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings.
Kene Nwangu.
In the final seconds of the first half.
And the Vikings continue to pull away here in this first half. Joseph connects on the extra point.
And a rout is on here in this first half.
So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. Berrios going to bring this out of the end zone. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right.
He finds Wilson.
And he'll be out right at the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone.
Oh, a good return up past the 30.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory. I think when they get back in the huddle, the question will be, Why did you throw that one? The coverage was incredible all over him. The only thing he didn't do after he caught the ball as a defender was get his feet in bounds. That should have been a turnover.
Play action now. Cousins. He's going to go for a big play downfield. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there for Minnesota. 41 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Now a give running left is Nwangu.
Give him maybe a yard. Quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings.
Jalen Reagor.
His first touchdown on the year.
And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Joseph connects on the extra point.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Berrios now from his end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result that he opted for the touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
They go play action with Wilson.
This will be caught downfield by Moore.
And they work this well upfield across the 45.
A gain of 21 yards.
Straight ahead is Hall.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
All again on 2nd down. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
To throw is Wilson.
This pass out wide to Hall.
And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 40. Now Wilson. That's brought in by Davis over the middle.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air.
Touchdown, Jets!
Denzel Mims.
31 yards.
And the Jets are able to cut into that deficit.
Zerline good with a PAT. And the lead drops from 34 down to 27. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Still comfortably on top, 3rd quarter as they start things here with a 1st and 10.
Good route here.
On play action, Cousins. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. They find some open field here. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone.
And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. 2nd down coming up.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Here we go.
Up the middle, Nwangu.
And he's going to get this inside the 30.
43 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Back to Nwangu again on 1st down. Down at the 25.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Cousins. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
Gun.
Slot man moves right.
Hey, receiver. Yellow. Hey, can.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Flushed out right. Touchdown! Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon.
And the Vikings will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Joseph connects on the extra point.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Berrios going to bring this out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 19.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to...
And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Vikingsons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
They go play action. Cousins. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hawkinson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Here's Madison running on 1st down. And this time they were waiting for him, as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on.
Hey, no, easy.
Now Cousins. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Vikings.
Well, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. And certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Berrios now from his end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film section in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Paul again. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And he'll have a Jets first down as he'll take this up to the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. He finds his man, complete. It's Wilson.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down, a run with Carter. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line.
10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down. Probably wishing that they could have had a few runs like that earlier in the game, now facing this deficit in the fourth.
Hard to criticize a run of that magnitude, but they really need those types of runs to go the distance.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
A give up the middle to Carter.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
When a drive goes this long, you have to give a lot of credit to the guys up front, those big fellas, because the offensive line is putting something together that allows them to continue to control the ball. And I know a lot of people think they get fatigued on a long drive. Actually, a lot of times the reverse happens. They actually get energized because they're controlling the ball, and they're the ones dictating to the defense.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll find Hall. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone.
And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive.
He's got a man, complete.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Eluding the pressure right. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So that's going to push him back half the distance.
Gun. Yellow.
Throwing here, Cousins.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Zebra. Listen to me.
Off the play fake, Cousins. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
On 2nd down, here's Nwangu. Now, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 57 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Berrios going to bring this out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And a nice run to get this up over the 20-yard line. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. As the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
They'll go again with Hall.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. One last shot for Wilson. Steps away. Got a man here. It's Wilson. And this is going to turn into another 1st